Eliezer faced death with honor, refusing to defile himself against God's law.
Although he disciplines us with calamities, he does not forsake his own people. Let what we have said serve as a reminder. We must go on briefly with this story. Now we get into Eliezer. Eliezer, one of the scribes in high position, a man now advanced in age, of noble presence, was being forced to open his mouth to eat swine's flesh. Christian, what you say? You can eat all things through Christ who strengthens you. Ain't that what you say? That's your mindset. And you think Paul, who knows very well of these stories, of this testimony, is teaching you and telling you that you could eat this? Is this what you're thinking? But we welcome in death with honor rather than life. See, he's talking about this old man. But we welcoming death. It's better to welcome death. It's honor to die for the law. It's an honor to die for the law. To die in obedience to the law. Not slavehood, as many would try to call it. You know, the Mosaic law. He don't call it the Mosaic law in this. He calls it, quote unquote, God's law. The law of the Alua, or the Elohim, as many would say. Eliezer welcomed death with honor rather than life with pollution. That's what the meat was, the unclean meat was. Huh? It said the swine flesh. The swine flesh was called pollution, brethren. With honor rather than, but he, welcoming death with honor rather than life with pollution, went up to the rack of his own accord, spitting out the flesh. As all ought to go who have the courage to refuse things. It said everybody ought to do this. If you face with the option of death or pollution of unclean meats, take the death. That's what he's trying to tell you. That's what he's trying to tell you. Is you listening? Spitting out the flesh. As all ought to go who have the courage to refuse things that is not right to taste. Not only eat, don't even taste it. That it is not right to taste, even for the natural love of life. He said, man, even if this gonna save your life to eat it, don't eat it. I had a woman ask me the other day on a TikTok, so brother, you know, because I hit him with something, man. I hit him something real deep. And the only way for them to combat what I said is to come back and ask some old dumb question. They said, so brother, if somebody love God and serve God and they starving and hungry and they're about to die and all they had was a can of pork and beans, do you mean to tell me that they shouldn't eat that to live? I said, man, listen, man, you know, the Most High ain't putting those who truly serve him in them kind of positions. You know, I said, second of all, if I know these people and I'm in a position to help these people, I'm going to help these people. That's crazy. If you keep the dietary law, first of all, if you keep the dietary law, what is you doing with some pork and beans, by the way? We keep the dietary law. We ain't got no pork and beans in the cabinet. Okay? So I don't know how this kind of stuff happens. But anyway, it's saying even under the penalty of death, you're supposed to stand, right? Those who were in charge of that unlawful sacrifice took the man aside because of their long acquaintance with him and privately urged him to bring meat of his own provided. See, this man the Greeks then came and said, you know what? All the Jews gonna eat pork or die. Today, you gonna eat pork or you gonna die. They tried to give this old man some pork to eat. He spit it out. He said, no, I ain't eating it. The people that was in charge of the whole thing knew the man. Because it's Jews overseeing this. It's sellouts, coons that's overseeing this. Say, hey, man, come on, man. Come on up here, man. Come on up here to the king, man. The king want to see you. So that means these Negroes done already ate the pork. That's how they get a job with the king. They done already ate it. So they come to Eliezer and say, hey, man, listen. We know you. You're an old man. You cool. You know, we don't want you to die. So we going to let you get you some lamb, get you some beef, whatever. And when it come time to eat the meat in front of the king, we gonna let you eat the lawful meat so you don't have to eat the unlawful meat. Listen to what he said. They took the man aside because of their long acquaintance with him and privately urged him to bring meat of his own providing, proper for him to use, and to pretend that he was eating the flesh of the sacrificial meal. It's what Peter talking about things sacrificed to idols, swine flesh, sacrificed to idols. You know why? Because our meat is considered sacrifices because the animal had to die for us to eat it. So what he's saying is that a dead piece of swine that's been killed, it's been killed to a pagan god because the Most High don't want you killing it to eat. It's one thing for it to die of itself, but for you to kill it, sacrificial meat, but had been commanded by the king, so that by doing this, he might be saved from death and be treated kindly on account of his old friendship with them. Say, man, we trying to look out for you, dog. We trying to look out for you. But making a high resolve worthy of his years and the dignity of his old age and the gray hairs that he had reached with distinction, the horrid head. You know, I'm talking about all rise at the horrid head, especially when it's worn by such a man as this. Huh?